Hi everybody, Angel here. Hope you're doing great. And today I'm super excited to speak with Kathleen and Peter from weDIDit.Health. So we will get started momentarily. And thanks so much for joining. Hi there.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you doing, Kathleen?
You know, I am doing great. We're 1 week out, and I'm still standing up, so life is good. I think running on adrenaline for sure.
I can imagine. Oh my gosh. Hi there. Hi there. Thanks for saying hi. Please let us know where you're tuning in from around the world. That's always super cool. And today we're speaking with Kathleen and Peter from weDIDit.Health. Maybe Peter is, let's see, let me try to see if I can get him in here. I just sent the link, so hopefully we will have him come in soon.
And he knew how to do it, so we'll see. We'll see if he was telling the truth there. But yeah, I'd love to see where people are from. The last few days, I've been on live streams with people from New Zealand, the UK, all over the United States. And now, where are you from, Angel?
I am in the Northeast. We have here North Carolina and Chicago so far.
Oh, I see Chicago. Yes, that is so awesome.
I love it. I love it. We have Peter here. I just sent him the invitation to come in.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Well, this is exciting. Okay. I can see the computer, but I can't see him. So,
yeah, I think you have to press that little double arrow, like the arrow that will, show your face. Yeah, I think that it went the other way, maybe.
Yeah. Nice computer, though. I think it's new. And, oh, there he is. Hey, Peter. Good to see you again.
How are you doing, Peter?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're having some connection issues, but while yours kind of connects, yeah, you're back. You're back, Peter. So what we're going to do, Peter, is we're going to kick this off. First of all, I want to thank everybody who's joining, either live or on the replay. I'm super happy to have Kathleen and Peter here with us today to talk about their amazing project, weDIDit.Health. And my first question is going to be, I guess, if you could give us a summary of some background, please, on the history and the mission. Why did you all create this, and what are you going to do with it? Thank you.
That would be Peter to answer that.
Yeah. Can you, before we go live, can you tell me how to get on Bluetooth? I guess it's not working.
Yeah, but I can hear you.
We're all set.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Peter,
are you
if you
there?
could share with us, please. Yeah. Could you share with us, please, your mission, your objectives, your history? Why did you create this amazing organization, please?
Well, thanks so much for that, Angela. The vision is for a happy, healthy, vegan world. And that's what we see. That's what we're working for. That's our mission. And we have, our strategy is unique and different from what I've seen everybody else take on for the similar vision. And that is that I've noticed how frustrated I get trying to inspire other people to be curious about the alternative to all the chronic diseases they're suffering from, an alternative to the animal suffering and the climate change. So that frustration is what's driving this. So we believe that if we can replace that frustration with satisfaction, we're all very frustrated because we're trying to serve, and we're compassionate people. We're compassionate about people we care about, and we hate to see them suffering. So we want to share an absolute truth with them. It's an absolute truth that if we're plant-based, we get healthier. If we're plant-based, then we save a lot of animal suffering and also reverse climate change. So that frustration is what's behind all this. We believe that if we can find ways to communicate this absolute truth to people that we care about, and they get curious and they start their journey to better health and to doing all the good for animals and the climate, I think that will change everything. And that's really what we're after, is if we focused on replacing that frustration with the satisfaction of being of service, we'll feel great ourselves, and everything else will change also.
That's awesome. You're reminding me of, like, instead of focusing on the problem, find a solution, focus on the solution. And I really, really can make that connection with what you're doing. So that is super duper. And I've heard that you have a certification program coming up. What is that all about? Who is it for? What are people going to do during this certification program? And what's going to happen after, please?
Sure. Kathleen, you want to take that?
You bet. I'll take part of it, and then I'll pass it back to you, because Peter really is the brains behind all of this. He's the one who came up with the concept for a certification program. And many people have certifications, whether it be NLP. I got certified in NLP, Neuro-Linguistics, in 1994. I'm going back a few years. And my most recent certification is from Cornell University for their plant-based nutrition program. And what I have found when I get certified in something, it takes me deeper into that subject matter, and it shows that I'm really committed. So really what the certification is about is helping people to really feel more confident in their communication skills, because we have 2 psychologists who are presenting. We have a full certification program that Dr. Sally Lipsky, who is, she has her PhD in education, and she is leading and facilitating the actual certification process. We have Dr. John McDougall, who is the keynote speaker at the beginning of the day. We have Dr. Angela Crawford, who is the author of the 7 Ways to Communicate with Loved Ones, how to inspire them to based lifestyle. And the thing that, and we have several more. We have Dr. Salish Rao, who's talking about climate healing. And the certification actually covers the 3 main areas that most vegans are interested in. It can be about the animals for some vegans. For other vegans, it can be the animals and the environment. For other vegans, animals and health. And our whole philosophy is that we want to transform people into happy, healthy vegans. So it's not just about being vegan. And Angel, I know that you are really, really focused on people's health. I mean, you just are a wealth of knowledge. And for anybody who's old enough, they know what encyclopedia means. You are an encyclopedia of information. And with the certification, it's a full day training, and it happens in Cleveland, Ohio on June 23rd. And we're doing a virtual aspect of it. So we have people signed up from all over the world. We've got people from Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Israel, India, the US, Canada, Mexico. I mean, we've got people from all over the place. And what we did that's a little unique also is we actually priced it in a way that it's a very, very low barrier to entry, that virtually anybody can afford to come to the either live or the virtual. It's $47. And that's with, if you added up all the knowledge that's going to be there in that room in the training, we're talking decades upon decades, probably well over a century.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, we're all very seasoned.
In a good way.
You know, in a great way. And what's really exciting is that every single presenter, everybody involved in this is vegan. And they all focus on the health aspect too, because our feeling is, and Peter actually articulates this so well, is that our feeling is we want to take care of the sentient being. We are sentient beings. And if we're not healthy, if we don't have the energy, if we don't have the focus to go out and do our advocacy work and our ambassadorship in the way that we are meant to do, because we each have a different role, well, if we're not healthy, we can't do the best that we're meant to do. So we all have a calling. I really believe that all the people that are going to be going through the certification, there's a calling that we have. And we want to take that out into our communities in whatever way is key to us. It could be a mother who wants to influence and inspire her children. It could be a school teacher who wants to inspire the school district. It could be at the grocery store when you're talking to somebody who has a cart full of meat and they're obviously very unhealthy and they're looking at your cart going, you really eat that way? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, now I've learned to ask, would you like to hear about it? And once they give me the go-ahead, that's it. It's all over. But this is about getting a certificate of completion to say, yes, in fact, I've learned some communication skills that makes me a more effective communicator with the vegan and plant-based message. And Peter, would you like to add to that?
Well, certainly you've said all that so very, very well. So the certification program is to reverse this condition that we all have, where we backed off. We've been rejected so many times. We've been blocked and by people we care about, that, you know, it's time for us to step into our pride, into our confidence, into our knowledge, and step forward and find a whole new way to approach all this, because it's just been enough of being rejected and pushed back. We have an absolute truth to share, and it's an absolute truth that absolutely serves everybody. It's in everybody's best interest, and it's you know, just as much as it's an absolute truth that if you take a ball and you drop it, it falls to the ground. You know, you switch to a plant-based lifestyle and you get healthier and you save animal suffering and you help the climate. I mean, it's an absolute truth. I haven't seen anybody change to a plant-based diet and then get sick from it and suffer from it and get obese from it. I mean, that just doesn't happen. There's probably 100,000 different studies, and Dr. Greger's the keeper of all that information, and I think his organization they review like 30,000 studies every year for like a decade now that shows all the various aspects and details of what nutrition really does for us and how the nutrition serves our immune system. So it's really simple. Feed our immune system and we'll be healthy and happy and you know, certainly save all the animal suffering. So that's the point, is to let's step into it. Let's own it with pride. And so the vision is that once somebody's certified and they have their certification, they can reach out to their circle of influence, to their friends, to their families, to everybody they meet, new acquaintances, and be able to say, look, I'm certified. I'd be honored to be your personal information curator. There's a lot of information. If somebody's suffering from any kind of ailment or they're concerned about animals, we can step in and say, I know where the information is that can help serve you, that can help you find a better way. And so that's at the tip of the iceberg for being certified. Then, of course, learning how to plant seeds. It's about planting seeds. We don't need to change anybody immediately on the spot. That's an unrealistic expectation. So as an ambassador, we learn what kind of expectations we can have of ourselves and the people we're talking with. And let's make them realistic. Let's be satisfied that we're planting seeds. And if somebody's open to it and they take it in and they want another one, we will be available and we'll know where the information is and how to present it to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because it's a win-win-win for humans, non-human animals, and the planet. And, and also, what is really great is it's true that for some people, they don't connect to animals or the planet, but they connect to their own health, their family's health, their performance in life, etc. And I love the fact that you're also presenting facts. The website or the organization nutritionfacts.org, nutritionfacts.org, is what you were referring to earlier, with all of those evidence-based, research-based, science-based, I guess, bits of information. And I think that's really key to how you're approaching it, because it's not like it's just us, saying, oh yeah, well, I feel better, et cetera, et cetera. It's no, this is based on facts. So it's like you're saying, it cannot really be disputed.
Well,
absolutely.
I'd love to share a story about my mother-in-law, what happened with her recently. And she's been pretty much, I'd say 90 to 95% plant-based, where, occasionally she'll kind of deviate from it. But I do most of the cooking for her. So she's kind of stuck with good vegan, healthy food. And recently she was starting to lose a lot of weight. She's got pulmonary fibrosis. She's on oxygen. She can't go long distances. And she used to be a very vibrant woman. She was a hiker where she would hike 8 to 10 miles a day, and that was on a regular basis. And a few years ago, she was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis. Well, recently she started losing a lot of weight, and we all know what that means with an elderly person. Her energy was just in the garbage, and she couldn't do much of anything but just sit on the couch, and we were getting very concerned about her. Well, fortunately, her doctor is a plant-based vegan, and so I actually went with her to one of her appointments, and I said, would it help if we fed her healthy fats and a real high plant-based diet and all this? And I wanted her to hear him say that, and he said absolutely. So we started counting her calories. She kept a little log. He said, I want you to keep a journal. And I was cooking, and I would actually throw in an extra avocado and some nuts, and I was putting stuff in there that I knew would help her to actually start getting her energy back. Well, she went to the doctor recently. She was down to 103 pounds, which is about 40 pounds less than she should be. And the last appointment she had, she was 100 and I believe 11 pounds. And it was like she's gained 8 pounds. And that was in about a 3-week period. And the doctor was over the moon. Well, the best part is now she's an ambassador, because I heard her talking to a friend of hers the other day, and she goes, yeah, weight, and I'm eating all this plant-based stuff, that vegan stuff, she calls it. I'm eating that vegan stuff, and it's like, you call it whatever you want to, but I know that it works. That's anecdotal for the people listening, but the nutritionfacts.org, mm-hmm. great place to get good information. And that's what we're aspiring to do, is to be content curators that we can recommend, try this resource, try that resource. So I just want to share that story, because we're feeling really good that my mother-in-law is gaining weight and she's getting back. She still has her oxygen. I mean, that's something that probably won't go away, but good stuff happens. And sometimes you want to gain weight. We have a good friend, Teresa Sam Houghton, who she actually shares how she gained weight as a result of plant-based, because she needed to, not because it just happened by accident. She needed to. And I think that's the thing about a healthy diet, and how we can be ambassadors, is to show through example what's possible.
Well, first of all, I'm just so happy that she's feeling better, and I guess vibrating higher in some ways too. And that's a good point, because a lot of people think that all fats are bad, and the reality is that healthy fats are good, or and obviously having sufficient calories and nutrients, etc. So of course, it's not just like one and done. So I'm very, very happy, to hear these results. And let me ask you all a question. Now, can a person be plant-based and join this certification program?
Well, absolutely, and that's what it's for. It's whether, and I assume you mean whole food plant-based versus vegan for animal justice. What do you mean?
Some people are plant-based for their diet, and some people are vegan as a lifestyle. So, are both accepted into this program?
Absolutely. So, I noticed that with our work, one of the really wonderful things that I think we're blessed to have an opportunity to do is kind of cross-pollinate within the community. So, people, I've come at it all from a whole food plant-based perspective, from human health, and it's just amazing how that community doesn't appreciate all they're doing for animal justice. And that's not true, because Dr. Barnard, for example, one of the absolute leaders with Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. He's definitely a leader in the vegan community. So he's constantly talking about animal cruelty and animal justice and those things. But a lot of the other doctors that I've met, they really don't understand the impact on animal justice. And so the vegans, I've heard a lot of vegans say, well, these plant-based people, they're not, they're here today, gone tomorrow, whatever their story is about plant-based people not being good enough. And then in the whole food plant-based community, they look at junk food vegans. They say, well, you can be vegan and eat Oreos and Coca-Cola. That's vegan. And so there's a lot of vegans who are very healthy. So here our mission is to bring the communities together and to get the whole food plant-based people, everybody there, to really appreciate the impact on animal justice as well as the planet. And vegans who aren't happy, healthy vegans, we want to offer that also, because, being happy, so it's really easy to be a vegan and really hurt deeply for animal suffering. And that's really counterproductive for our health too. So we need to have that balance where we do everything we can for animals, where we have that compassion, but not actually let it to where we get so angry that it's hurting our own health. So this is a beautiful opportunity to bring everybody together and show what's in there. So being plant-based or being vegan or anybody, this is for everybody. So the bottom line is that we don't damage animals. We don't have any animal protein is really our requirement. That's the absolute requirement. So it's unlikely everybody's welcome. It's unlikely that anybody would be really interested who's chomping on a steak and watching our training. I don't think that they'd ever come to it. But anybody who's, I think that's the bottom line on it is that we don't consume animal proteins. And then from there, everybody has a journey. Everybody has more to learn. We can all get to be better communicators. We can all constantly tweak our lifestyle. So we're all learning but the real bottom line is for people who want to serve other people, who want to serve animals, who want to share this absolute truth, and who are really so compassionate they want to be of service. That's really what we're after.
Right. And I want to say hi to Mariquita.
Hi, Mariquita.
Of her, and if I may piggyback off of what Peter just said about the trifecta, because we actually have a session called the trifecta, and it's a panel where we have somebody representing the Climate Healers, which is Dr. Salish Frau. He actually founded that organization, and they have a goal that is just a huge goal, but he's doing everything in his power to help heal the planet. And have him on that panel. We have Linda Middlesworth, who is the co-founder of weDog, and weDog is actually a vegan dog food. And I've had people say, oh, you can't feed your dogs vegan. And yes, you can. And there are plenty of stories that she shares. And I've talked to people who have their dogs on that particular brand, and their dogs are getting healthy. And so she's representing the animal side of the discussion. And the third person on the panel will be Dr. Matthew Badgett, who is a local MD in the Cleveland area, and he's going to represent the health aspect. So we've got climate, animals, and health. And that's the trifecta. That's right before lunch. And what we're doing at the lunch hour, this is really exciting. All of the attendees that come to the Cleveland event, they get to have lunch with us. We are going to actually have round tables where you can either decide to buy your lunch there or you can go off campus. But I really don't see why people would want to do that, because we're making ourselves available at lunchtime. Peter's one of the speakers. I'm the MC and the closing keynote speaker. We've got, as I mentioned, Dr. Sally Lipsky. We've got Dr. John McDougall is the opening speaker. We've got Dr. Angela Crawford. And it's really an exciting group of people. It's kind of a magical group, which is so exciting. It must be all the plants we eat, the magical plants. But if people could go to weDIDit.Summit.com, weDIDit.Summit.com, and the URL that you have, weDIDit.Health, that's where they can actually take the survey, which is the scoreboard, to have evidence that people have actually had positive changes as a result of plant-based eating. So great to see, let's see, Big Name D joined us. Great to see you. And Crystal Barron joined us. Wonderful, wonderful.
Hi, Crystal. Hi, Big Name.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, and so that takes me, I just want to have one clarification. How long does a person have to have been plant-based or vegan? Can they just be like, I don't know, a couple of weeks and they're like, hey, I heard about this and I want to join? Or is there like a certain duration that, you know, like a prerequisite?
May I take it? And then
yes, please.
We talked about this just today. You know, we have people that have been vegan for 40 and 50 years. I mean, it's crazy to think about the length of time. We have people who are brand new to this, and we encourage the newcomers, the people that, you know, a week, 2 weeks, even 48 hours, and you're already seeing some positive changes. We welcome everybody because we want to kind of guide you through the mistakes we made. I know that I was ostracized by my family for a while because I insisted everybody had to be vegan. It's like, what? You know, it's like, took me till I was 64. Why would I expect them to get any sooner? And really what we want to do is help people to have those conversations that sometimes can get tough. For example, when I decided I wasn't going to shop for any animal-based products anymore, it's like I do the grocery shopping. Guess what? It's not happening. Well, I wasn't the most diplomatic in the way I said it. I just said, no, sorry, you go shop for, I did. I said, if you want it, you go get it yourself. And that's probably not the most effective way to communicate. So I may think I'm a great communicator. So Peter, what would you like to add to that? But I would say anybody, wherever you're at on your journey, please join us.
Okay, but Peter,
Absolutely.
before we go to you, we have a very important question. And the question is, which program is this from AccuWellness? Thank you so much for that question. And that is, what is the name of the program? Peter.
Well, it's weDIDit.Health is our website, and to find the information about this training and the certification program, please go to weDIDitSummit.com. So weDIDitSummit.com is where all the information is, all about our mission, our intention, the benefits of participating, information about all our speakers at weDIDitSummits.com. And that's the way to find it and register for it and become part of our community, and community is exactly what we're after. So and I love how Kathleen just stated it, and everything we're doing has been morphing and evolving. It's so organic, and really today we're noticing how we have the Wisdom Keepers, who's a group of like 250 vegans who've been vegan for over 25 years. So to be able to have a community where we can bring the wisdom, bring the knowledge, bring our experiences that we've learned on how to inspire people we care about, to bring that to people who are newbies. So perhaps one of the things we want to do is reach out to the coaches and doctors and be able to say, you know what, you're working with these people who are new at it and are doing really well. Well, we'd love to partner with you to help them also be more diplomatic, as Kathleen was saying, so that we can really move the needle on the numbers of people who are vegan and plant-based, because that's really our objective. And so that when somebody's brand new at it, if they can have the wisdom from people who've been doing it, and people who have the scars, have been pushed away from Thanksgiving dinners and have family members who won't talk to them anymore, we can save the newbies those kinds of experiences and help them. So it's hard to make up. Once we get to a point where somebody labels us as crazy vegans and won't even want to talk to us anymore, it's hard to make up for all that. But imagine if we could have done it different initially. Maybe we could have been more successful inspiring people. So that's what we're bringing to the table, is we're bringing in interpersonal communication skills, how to listen better, how to meet somebody where they are. And that's really the foundation. That's the first pillar of the three pillars that that our work is based on. So learning how to do this and how to do it, inspire other people effectively. And that's probably something that somebody who's so enthusiastic and they realize the absolute truth gets so excited about it. And, you know, let's help them really not push people away, not get the scars that we have.
Well, and if I may add to that, the official title of the program is the Plant-Based Grassroots Ambassador Certification and Summit. So that's kind of when you go to the page. But something, Peter, you just reminded me of, and I know, Angel, in our clubhouse room, we've talked about this before, that first holiday that you hit when you're vegan, it can be tough. It's just like somebody in recovery. It's like when you stop drinking, it's like you have to, it's a whole different way of having a conversation. And so the first Father's Day, for example, you know, usually there's a big roast or there's a big chicken wings, whatever. The first Super Bowl Sunday, the first Christmas, the first Thanksgiving for people in the US and in Canada. You know, there's big meals that we have created customs around. The exciting thing with what people will learn at the certification is different ways to establish your traditions, if you will. Because the first meal that we did for a holiday where we didn't have meat, I said, please let me cook. Please allow me the opportunity to let you into my world. And at first there was pushback. Well, we need to go get a turkey. I said, please, let's not. And I made a beautiful meal. I spent all day on it, and everybody was just like, this is amazing. So that first is very important. So we welcome the newcomers, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Absolutely. And that's what our third pillar is about: building community to support each other, support the newbies, support, you know, be able to find the better strategies to support each other when we run into a challenging situation, trying to inspire somebody else. And so that's our third pillar. So the three pillars are about better communication skills, about we're in process of finding great ways to curate, to package the most appropriate information for any situation that one of our ambassadors could be running into. So curating information is the second pillar, and then community to support each other is our third pillar. And of course, somebody getting certified and taking part in this training, part of their benefits is 3 months membership in our community. So that's all packaged in for the $47 for this event.
That's fantastic. So for those who are watching this live on the replay, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. If you have a question or comment, please put it down below. But let me ask you all, for anyone watching this, how can they help? What can they do to help this initiative, please?
Well, you know, I'll give my thoughts on this. I would say get certified, because we truthfully have priced it so low so we can reach as many people as possible. Our sponsors are amazing. Chef AJ is a sponsor. We have Mitchell from Unchained TV just became a sponsor. We have the Triangle Vegan Veg Fest. We have Cleveland Vegan Society. We have Cleveland Vegan Cafe. We have VDog, who's one of our sponsors, Matali, who is the vegan publisher. I mean, we have people from all walks of life who are helping our mission to be raised. And so the first thing I would recommend is that people actually make that investment in your future, in your health, in the animals, in the environment. It's so important. The second thing is to realize how long it took you to make that decision, to realize that you probably didn't make it overnight. The seeds were planted, and Peter talks about this a lot, about planting seeds. And we as vegans should know how to plant seeds. We have a garden out back that we had to put a fence around because our chickens wanted it so much, but that's a whole different story. But quite seriously, it's learn the communication strategies that will really get your message across in a much more effective way than maybe you're having experiences with. Because I know the first year for me, I felt really isolated. I felt alone. And to find a community of people, what a gift. So, Peter?
Right. Well, I'll address a different aspect of it. We're welcoming the professionals as professional ambassadors, and they have a really huge role in the content curation. So we want the professionals to come, and we're launching a concept we're calling topic champions. So really the scenario is that for a grassroots ambassador, we run into different opportunities all day long. So we may run into a woman who's pregnant and doesn't know anything about being plant-based, right? So, or so any scenario at all. And the vision is that as an ambassador, I have access to a library of these topic champion documents. And what that is simply we're asking experts to participate with us to put together, and it's really simple, put together 6 or 8 of their favorite resources that are very appropriate to a very specific situation. So let's say a pediatrician may want to put together 6 or 8 of their favorite resources that they would want to share with a pregnant woman who's not plant-based, who's having challenges with their pregnancy. Or, or be it somebody who's bodybuilding, show them some resources, show them, for them, and maybe we want to show them the Game Changers and have them watch that documentary and show them some studies about protein. And so whatever it is, our second pillar is all about having easy access of packaged resources to be able to curate. So an ambassador can go through their day and run into a half dozen different situations where different information is most appropriate. Maybe run into somebody who's just loving politics and they're diabetic. We want to show them about Mayor Adams and what he did with diabetes. So that's where professionals can come in and collaborate with us, and we would welcome their efforts, because really this is a huge undertaking, and it's all collaboration. So the way we're going to do it, we're also passionate. So everybody pitches in a little bit, and will benefit everybody. So the professionals who are out to share their wisdom and their knowledge and their services, they get to do that. They'll create a topics champion document, share those resources, and of course they'll get exposure for it. And now maybe somebody who's a diabetes coach, they'll share information about reversing diabetes, and somebody who needs help, they get to meet them, to see the reference that this information is coming from them, and that could lead to a new relationship. Somebody suffering with diabetes could be able to reverse their diabetes, and a professional would have a client to help do that, and everybody's happy and everybody wins.
That's awesome. I love that. So as we roll on here, we're getting to the back end of this conversation, and that is, do you have any future projects or services or programs that you want to share at this time, just to give you that opportunity?
Oh, Peter, take it away, because I'll spill the beans. I'll give the whole vision that we have, and we just want to give you a 30,000-foot view, because yes, in fact, we do. So, Peter, please.
You know what? We're launching. We're biting off a pretty big piece here. We're launching the certification. We're launching building a community. We're launching content curation. The certification program. I mean, we're launching into a really big piece here. So our immediate future is all about getting deeper into doing that, doing it better, doing it more efficiently, getting more people on board. So building the community, bringing in the experts, bringing in the ambassadors, and then of course creating lots of newbies to come on board and become ambassadors themselves. So we're doing all that. We're launching into all that. We've started into all that, and we're honored to have anybody who'd like to get certified and be part of our community. They're going to help launch this effort that I believe, and all of us, we all really believe will have some impact and will help change the world, because this world needs it, and I think we're in process and we're on the way. And certainly people like you, you've done great work, and you keep doing it, and let's all collaborate and synergize. And my title I picked for myself, and it's on one hand, it's almost silly, but it's Chief Synergy Officer, because my passion is about synergy, because I recognize that 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is really 100. It's not 4 or 10. It's a huge number. So let's all come together and bring our energies and wisdom and knowledge and our hearts together. And because this is all compassion and heart based, and together we have a huge heart together.
It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyone watching, put your thinking caps on and figure out how you want to contribute. I know everyone has a schedule, but, see how you want to contribute. And that takes me to my next question, which is, what are the best ways for people to contact you for information, collaboration, questions, comments, etc.?
For me, they can actually find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I would say LinkedIn is probably the best place. You can private message me. Let's connect on LinkedIn. And I know Peter gives out his email address. And, so, Peter, go ahead.
Well, if you'd like to reach me by email, it's peterg@weDIDit.Health. And I invite anybody who'd like to reach out to me to email me. And of course, I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn also, so messaging me there is awesome. And for sure, we'd love for everybody to reach out on weDIDit.Health and answer the simple one-question survey so that we can build a scoreboard, so we can show the world the evidence that's missing. So we talked about Dr. Greger and the 100,000 studies that I'm guessing his organization has reviewed at this point. But the one piece of evidence that's missing that I think will help inspire a lot of people is the numbers of people who are benefiting. And that's not in any of these studies. And let's all chime in. Let's show the world that 150,000 people have bypass surgery, and 280,000 people have reverse type 2 diabetes. I think that evidence in itself is something that will help get somebody's attention who's suffering from an ailment, from a chronic disease. And this is, I'm sure, of course you know this, but this is across the board for the top 15 killers in our culture, and not just killers, but there's such a source of suffering for everybody. So the evidence that's missing, and I was thinking that's probably why so many people who we try to talk to don't really listen, because they say, oh, well, this sounds like it's too good to be true, so there's no way it's true, right? But if we can say, well, look, here's the scoreboard, 400,000 people have lost a ton of weight or tons of weight. And by the way, we're saving millions of animals every year, and gallons of water and all that. So join us on weDIDit.Health on the scoreboard and register for our certification training, and let's make a difference together.
Yes, and please give everyone the date of the training.
That would be Thursday, June 23rd, Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's right before the National Health Association Conference. They're one of our sponsors, as a matter of fact. And so it goes all day. So just check the world clock for your time zone. In Pacific, it's 6 a.m. And so we're really excited about that. And just a little side note, one of our sponsors used to be a dairy farmer. Vegan FTA, Vegan for the Animals. Jackie and Gareth, dairy farmers who now work with dairy farmers to show them there is a different way that they can actually make a living and not harm the animals. So with that, I just want to say thank you, Angel. This has been delightful. I just so appreciate all you do.
Thank you so much for that. And now, one last thing, if a person cannot, I guess, attend for the full event, what happens?
We have, Peter, do you want to share that?
Absolutely. So we're recording this, and part of the price of admission includes 3 months of membership in our group, and we'll have the recordings. We have a very in-depth training program that Dr. Lipsky put together, and that will be available on the Teachable platform, so self-guided people can complete the certification there and participate in the community, and everything will be recorded and available. So we're excited that it's a live event. We'd love to have as many people there as possible, and of course, you know, it's very awkward hours around the world, but you know, it's available permanently in our Facebook group, and so you know, join us live, or you know, be able to watch it and participate in the certification, and certainly most importantly in the community and all the exchange and learning and sharing that we'll have in the community.
Fantastic. Now, before I ask you for your final thoughts to wrap this up and put a bow on it for us, please, I want to thank you both so very much for coming on and sharing this. I want to thank everybody who watched live or on the replay. And I will go to Kathleen first for your final thoughts for us today to wrap this up and put a bow on it for us, please.
You know, I really appreciate that question, Angel. And my final thoughts are, we get drawn to something for a reason. We have a calling. I really believe that all of us have a higher calling. And part of the higher calling is to show more compassion in the world. And I believe for me that being vegan is a very spiritual expression. And it's part of my spiritual practice that I don't animals. And it took me many years to connect the dots. And I was rescuing animals for about 15 years the day that I realized that here I was rescuing and then eating on the other hand, rescuing on one, eating. And so I would say that you've been called to this message, being vegan, being plant-based for a reason. Honor that, because only you can decide for you what's important. And we want to facilitate with the resources and the tools that will help you to take your message out in a bigger way. Thank you, Angel.
That's beautiful. Fantastic. And Peter, would you like to put a bow on this and wrap it up for us, please?
Oh, yes. I think I've said most of what I wanted to say, but really we're doing it for everybody. And I think I would propose that we're doing it first of all for ourselves. And I think for ourselves, it's we have locked up our compassion. We have been pushed back so much. We have this deep desire to serve and to contribute, and we've locked that up. And so I think one of the things that I wish for here is that we have a community, have a platform where we can unlock that compassion, be able to come out and share it and enjoy it and live it, because that will do it for ourselves. And from that place, that's a higher vibration. That's a happier place for all of us. And from that place, we'll make a huge difference.
Fantastic. So I want to thank you both so very much for coming on. I'm going to save this to Instagram live, my stories feed, and YouTube later, and then I will message you all both after that. So thank you so much, and good luck. Best wishes for the summit next week. And I'm just so happy that we were able to chat today. So thank you so much, and take good care, both of you, and take good care, everybody.
Thank you so very much for hosting us, and thank you for all the wonderful work you're doing. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take good care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.